Is that even legal?
I don't know.
Soon we're gonna have holograms.
Her grandmother was funny. She said, "Hey, what are you gonna do? Gonna marry my daughter or what?" I had a pet. His name was Prince. He was a cat. He was just. She said to him, "I got engaged." So that goes to show you the mind frame of simplicity.
Hello guys, welcome back to Cocktails with My Mom. In every episode in the beginning, we talk about what we're drinking. So at this time, we're not drinking a cocktail. We're drinking wine, some red wine.
It is a red blend.
From where?
Sorry?
From where?
I forgot the name of it. That's why I asked you. I should have brought in the bottle.
Mom, you had one job.
One job?
You had one job. Provide the alcohol. Know everything about the alcohol.
I just said it was a red blend. All right, so we're good for now. I'll remember that for future use. I didn't realize I would have to take notes on the alcohol we're serving. I'm serving. You're serving. But we're serving it to you guys. No, not that way. Talking the way we speak when we have alcohol.
Are you manifesting a partnership with some alcoholic brand?
No, I don't think so. We're just going to have a good time. That's what it's all about.
Right. Okay, so in today's episode, we're going to be talking about our 20s. And we're going to discuss the differences of my mom living her best life in the 80s. And then me, I just turned 30 years old. And I think, let's get real here. We're all like living completely different in our 20s. Like right now, my mom, she had started her getting married and having kids in her 20s. And I'm 30 years old. And I
Tell
do
them
not.
my age.
I am not married or have kids.
True.
So
how do we, where are we taking this?
Where are we starting this? Okay. Let's hear about you, because I feel like we already know the last 10 years of like millennials lifestyle. So let's talk about when you turned 20. Actually, wait, no. No. I want to go when you like graduated high school. Let's talk differences there. Okay, so you graduated high school. What happened after that?
What happened after that?
Oh, didn't grandma like give you like money? Not give you money, but like didn't she just...
No, she had a savings account for me from when I was young with all the gifts from family and put it away for me, you know, all the different times of getting gifts, and presented it to me at that age and said, "Here, this is what you got. Do what you want with it."
How much was it?
About $2,000. But back then, I
I
don't
mean,
know
that's a
what
lot for like back then. What is this? This was like the 80s?
But of course, I
What'd
didn't
you do
use
with
it.
it?
Pretty much just used it for my own pleasantries and travel. Like, you know, we just kind of like Daddy and I would go, you know, different, not
Wait,
trips,
when did you
real.
meet Dad?
A year, when did I meet Daddy? 19, a year later.
Wait,
I
wait,
graduated.
so you dated the other guy, the drug dealer, when you were in high school? Even better.
But he wasn't in my high school. He went there for a couple of months.
Wait, wait, how old was he?
He was 3 years older than me. Wait, was he 3 years older? Yeah, 3 years.
Wait, hold up. So, how old were you when you guys started dating?
I was 16, 17.
And then he was like, what, 19?
Yeah.
Wow. Was that even legal?
I don't know.
Dang.
That was how it was.
I'm like
back
learning
then.
a lot about you today.
That was how it was back then. It was nothing.
I guess it's not too bad, but still, I feel like 19 and 16 are like two different brains. That's interesting. Okay, so you date. Wait, so how'd you meet him?
He lived, like you said, he lived down the block from me in an apartment house. I lived in a two-family house, and we rented there. But he lived down the block in an apartment house complex. And my neighbor, she was very always. How can I explain her? She was. I'm not going to make her out to be something silly, but she liked being guess seen by men and being always, you know, the best thing, that because she was attractive in her own right, but being taken advantage of also, if you know what I mean. And she was 19, and I became friendly with her, and her and I would hang out together, and then she met him, and then they started dating. But eventually I guess he realized he would have preferred me over her. I don't know why, but he started liking me. And then we started dating, but she was okay with it because, like I told you, she wasn't really the type for kind of relationships. You know, she just was always wanting to be liked. And I was the type to put out a relationship. And him and I started dating, and he was visiting his brother and his wife in the apartment building, and he'd stay a couple of months and then go back and forth because he had his mother in Florida.
Mhm.
So I just assumed, he would come visit me when he visited them. It was kind of like a long distance too, like you have with Regan type of thing.
Mm.
But then eventually, it wasn't working out because he was, a little bit, checking out other girls and things like that and making me insecure and, different. I was starting to notice the red flags, as you call them. Back then, we didn't know. And then I started realizing it wasn't really what I wanted. So a friend of mine told me about Daddy, and I was working in Two Guys then when we met.
For
And
people who don't know what Two Guys is,
Two Guys is a discount store back in the day. Like, I don't even know what you can compare it to now. It was a discount store, but
like, is it? No, it's not like Five Below, right?
yeah, kind of, but a little bit. It had a lot more. It had also clothing.
Mm.
It had records, people
Is it like
records.
the virtual? Is it like Sheen?
Sheen, no, it was very, you mean
Like,
Sheen? What was
well,
Sheen?
Sheen's not a physical store,
No,
but
this
it's
was a
like
physical store.
but it's like, yeah, yeah, I know. But like, obviously, it's a different world. So like, it's a company that sells like very like cheap clothes and cheap everything,
It was a discount store
hmm
with discount clothing,
like
but it
Timu.
also had a place to eat, like a cafeteria, and also
Oh,
had a record department. That's what I was saying. Records, people, 8 tracks back then, cassettes.
I have a record player.
They had, right? Regan has that now, right? And they also have, and it was a pharmacy, a little like a pharmacy attached to the record department. And I worked in the record department. He worked in men's clothing, and our very good friends, your godparents, were also working there, and we all just hung out, and that was our lives. Every weekend, after work, we'd go hang out and enjoy each other's company. And life was simple, and it was great. It was simple, and we go out to eat, go have drinks, hang out, go play games. Because then one of the friends had an apartment in the basement, so we would go hang out there. It was just simple times. And, to me, was the best, honestly. I kind of feel for your generation. I don't know how well, you don't know any better because you never experienced it, but I wish that that could be the way, some part of anyway, for now in this world, because it would help a lot, I think.
What would you say would be the difference between, I guess, today and, I guess your time? Because I mean, still people will meet each other as like coworkers and then hang out like this. That's still a thing. So like, what's the difference?
I think it is still a thing, yes, but it's limited. I feel like today, nobody really wants to go that extra mile. I think it's more convenience right now. And I think that takes a lot.
And
So I think there is a time percentage wise that people do it in the sense of meeting people and their coworkers. But I don't know if coworkers can even date today.
that's a really good question. I think I think that's fine for coworkers to date. I think it's more of dating your boss.
Yeah, that's probably the same. Yeah. But we were young. I mean, I was like 19, it was like, it wasn't a major business place, like, like Wells Fargo or something like that. It was just a little, rinky dinky
Rinky dinky.
store that, it was a big store, but it was, they were good times. Honestly, I enjoyed it because it was simple.
Yeah, and that's where you met my godparents, right?
Yeah.
I think
Our
we
good
need to have them on the podcast
friends.
sometime.
Yeah, definitely. And, I'm proud of having friends for that long. And um, there's a history there. And like she was asking me, you asked me in the last podcast, would I ever think I would be doing something like this in this day and age? No, because I didn't envision the world the way it is today. I can't even fathom. I mean, I can go out there and really date myself. If anybody out there knows the cartoon, The Jetsons, that was typical of what the future would hold that we thought it would be. And that was really, they had the first FaceTime. If you ever saw the Jetsons, they would talk to people face to face on the phone. And who would have envisioned that? Who would have been like, oh my God? And That's nothing now. That's like just a given. So,
Soon we're gonna have holograms.
yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a different world. Did like I said, then I wound up dating your father for almost 5.5 years. And your grandmother was funny. She said, "Hey, what are you gonna do? Gonna marry my daughter or what?" I would say I'm not gonna say the terminology she used because she was a character. But anyway, um,
She needs to have her own episode.
definitely. She said, "Hey," and then ironically, well, my birthday's in January, and I always get sidetracked because nobody has any more money from Christmas. Everybody's tired. Everybody's just like, yeah, yeah, it's your birthday, big deal, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, he took me out to Tavern on the Green when it was the real Tavern on the Green. Now it's
What's
like a
that?
cafeteria. It was beautiful back then. It was a ritzy place with the horse-drawn carriages around the area in New York. And he told me he was going to take me there for my birthday. And like I said, my birthday's the beginning of the month, and this was right after Christmas. And I thought, well, it's not really my birthday yet. And he goes, yeah, no, 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 we'll just take you out. I was like, whatever. So we went, and he asked me to marry him there in Tavern on the Green. And I was so stunned. I was like, oh my God. Then ironically, I thought about it later, but wait, I got shipped out of a birthday gift. That was my engagement ring, was my birthday gift. I said, but wait a minute, let's have two occasions.
That's so funny.
And then I went home that night and I was so excited. And it was late. And the next morning I woke up and I had the ring. And I was like, I go in to tell my parents. And they're like, well, of course, we already know. And I'm like, oh. Then I called my sister. She was already married. I already know. Mom, Dad had told me. Okay. So everybody I was telling knew. I was like, okay. So I had a pet. His name was Prince. He was a cat. He was an ingrate, but I loved him. And I told him, I said to him, I got engaged. So that goes to show you the mind frame of simplicity and nativity. I don't know,
Negativity, what?
not negativity. When you're naive, navid, I don't even know the word. It was such a, different way of thinking. That was the 20s for me. And then we were married a year and a half later. Had an apartment, thought it was the greatest thing, our first apartment together. And it was like, wow, it was exciting. And then we, decided to have a child. And then her older sister was born. And we just, had a different lifestyle then. I was working in New York, actually. And he was working in New York. So we had the best of times. After work, we go out with friends. And we even took my oldest daughter with us. And she would just, she was easygoing. And then she would just sit there. And I kind of think about this now. The poor child, I was giving her like little stirrers and things to play with, or those little half and halves to drink.
Now it's iPads.
You didn't have iPads then.
And I know, I'm just saying like the differences, like
Right, that's what we would do. We gave them little stirrers, or we
Yeah.
gave them, they still have the crayon and the, that thing, but little half and halves to drink. I felt it was, at least it's good for her. It's calcium, but we, it was just easy going. And then we finally saved enough money to buy a house. And it took us, God, how knows, 8 years to finally be able to buy our own home. And then this one came along, and that was the only place you knew to live. You grew up there.
Yeah, then it's crazy because like that's my childhood home when I grew up, and then as soon as I left your house, like moving out, I like lived in like what 10 other places in the last like 10 years.
True.
It's so crazy. Like I moved so much.
Now tell me how you. Okay, I started in my 19th year, 20ish. So tell me what your life from 20 up.
Yeah, your life sounds so simple. Wait, so hold on, let me get some years situated here. So what year did you marry Dad? And how old were you?
24.
24,
Now
okay.
you're showing my age.
I mean, they assume that you're a baby boomer.
I am a baby boomer.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then you had Tara in 89.
Correct.
So then you were 27?
Correct.
And then you had me in 95, so that's 6 years later.
I was 33.
Okay, interesting. All right. So it seems like, yeah, your 20s was a lot of just like pretty really simple, definitely. It's not like your life kind of like went a million different ways in like a
No,
decade.
because that wasn't the lifestyle back then.
Did you do any like traveling?
Yeah, Daddy and I, well, we went to Hawaii for a honeymoon.
Well, no, before that.
We went to Acapulco,
Nice.
um, Mexico City, and Mexico. Oh my goodness, those cliffs, the taxi drivers, Lord have mercy. They would go around those mountains like no big deal, and they're going fast. I held my breath thinking we were going to go off a cliff and die. And they had those divers that would come off the cliffs. They would dive into the water like, oh God, so high up, really high up. But we really, basically we stayed within the states and we would go to, down the shore. I don't know if anybody knows what that means, to the beach on weekends and pretty much simple things. We didn't really start traveling, I think, until when you kids got older a little bit. We went on the cruises. Remember when you were young? But other than that,
Cruise again soon.
yeah, we're gonna go again soon.
Pay for it, so I'm done that yet.
Yeah, I know. Because it's actually going to be a family event. It's going to be her and her boyfriend Regan, myself, my husband, and my daughter and her husband and my grandkids. So it's going to be a fun time and actually celebrating 40 years wedding anniversary for my husband and I. And it would be funny because my granddaughter says, I'm going to get the shirts. I go, what? Like, have those shirts when we're on a cruise, like I guess a reunion. And she's looking at it. She says, it's the one that says 40 years and I haven't thrown them overboard yet.
Hey, that's actually a really good thing to celebrate.
It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be, I'm in a different phase of life, and it's going to be fun. I think we're all going to have a great time. So that'll be interesting. That'll be a whole nother.
I know, right?
When we come back.
I know. It's like, okay, let's talk about what happened at the cruise. This is going to be a five episode series.
Yeah.
So
make our memories then.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about my 20s now.
That's what I said.
All
Go
right.
for it.
So, I mean, after I graduated high school, I went to community college for 2 years. That's before I'm 20. So I guess my 20s really, that's when I was beginning my 20s, I was dating you know who. And I went to college. I went to Rowan. That's like the second half of my college life. And then when I was 21, I got accepted into the Disney College program. And so I moved to Florida for a couple of months. And for people who don't know, we're originally from New Jersey. And so honestly, when I went to college, I knew that mental health was something important. I was like, okay, psychology, I can be a therapist, whatever. But then I was like, I got my own problems. I feel like I'll be a horrible therapist. So, but I still went for, psychology. And then so I got accepted to the Disney College program, which was super unexpected because I just kind of like applied just for like fun. Mom, I don't know if you know this. When I got accepted, I called you you were the first person I called.
Really?
But you didn't answer. Yeah, you didn't answer. I was in Walgreens, and that's when I was just like trying to I was like going up and down the aisles, and I got an email and it said congratulations, and it came from the DCP. And so I didn't open it yet. I just read congratulations. I'm like, okay, I guess that means I got accepted. So I started not scream, but screaming internally because I was in public. And so I called you didn't answer. I was like, of course, of course she doesn't answer.
That's surprising because you know me.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, seriously, out of all the times you don't answer.
And I didn't even know you were going to apply.
I don't know if I don't think I told you
you never
guys.
told me a thing. When you did call me, you said to me, hey, Mom. I go, what? Guess what? Oh, I got accepted to this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You said, oh, yeah, I applied for this on a whim.
Yeah, I was just like, let me just apply just to apply. Whatever, I'm not going to get it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You said somebody else you did.
Wait. Before I said that I got it, you knew I applied because remember I told you I wanted you at the house between this time and this time for the interview? I told you that. So you knew before I got accepted that I applied.
I don't, for some reason, Justine, I recall it as you told me you got accepted to this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then you explained to me that you went ahead and applied because it was just a whim that somebody you knew did it. In your college. Didn't somebody else do it? Yeah,
somebody of you did it, and it just looked really fun. And I was like, oh, why not? Let me apply. And then, literally, like I said, I had no idea I would get it. I was just like, why not? I literally just applied out of
Those
the
are the
whim.
times that things really,
I
you know.
know, I know. I'm kind of hoping there'll be times where I'm like, I just auditioned for this. I didn't think I'll get it. And it's like a serious regular. My life has changed forever.
So then
It's
you
just
went.
like that one role that changed. Yeah, it was 3 months. And like I said, like I had no plans of going. I was like, oh yeah, like it's kind of like a huge, like completely changing my plans of college. And I was nervous that I wouldn't graduate in time. But then I went to my advisor and I told her I accepted the program. And I was actually very lucky that she's a huge Disney fan.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
She's a huge Disney fan. And so she was encouraging me to do it. And she was like, we'll figure this out. Like, you got to go to this. Like, she's like a massive Disney theme park fan. So it kind of worked out. I think it definitely helped the fact that she was a huge fan. And she was like, you need to go and do this. We need to make this work. We'll figure this out or something like that.
This is the one at Rowan?
Yeah. 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 So we like figured things out. And she was like, just do the credits here at Disney and then do some summer classes and like we made it work. So yeah, I did the program and then I fell in love working for the company. I think the thing is like I met so many people from all over the place and I
Yeah.
feel like it's so powerful meeting people from different states and countries. I met people from different countries. Yeah, so I was like I don't want to go home, but I was also like okay, well I have one more semester. I'm not going to drop out of college because I've heard people like would drop out of college to stay. I've heard it happen. But these are the people that usually, because you can apply to the program as early as like freshman year. So like your second semester of freshman year. So like the people who probably dropped out probably like before like who maybe were sophomores and they still have so much time
But
to
you
finish
you
school.
enjoyed it. You didn't even want to come back.
No, I didn't. But like I said, I had one more semester of school left. I don't want to drop out. Like when you're so close to graduating, like maybe if I was like maybe if I like did 3 semesters and sophomore year and I saw 2 more years of school, then maybe it would have been a different story. Because like 2 years is a long time to come back. You know what I mean? Like for me, I just had to wait like a half a year. Not even. So it was fine. Like, okay, I have to go back, just finish it up and then, get back into the program. And that was also risky too, because you're not guaranteed that you can get back into the program. But luckily I got accepted back in because I had a good record. Yeah. Yeah, so then I moved in 2017 officially and then worked for Disney from 2017 to 2022 and pretty much lived that life.
And that's when we came down.
What?
Then we came down into.
Yeah, like you came down once my Disney era was over.
Well,
So,
we
yeah.
visited though.
No, I'm saying you came down officially to live here after
Right,
my
right,
Disney.
right, right.
Yeah, but obviously like throughout the years you would visit, of course. But yeah, no, 2017 to 2022 was it feels like it was so much longer too. That's like 5 years. 5 years I worked for Disney like full time. Yeah, that's crazy. And then from there, that's when I quit and people who listen to the last episode know about the social media management and this and that. And so from 2022, I mean, I still have I'm still doing social media management. That's not like I'm not doing it anymore. I am, but I'm not like where I was when I was constantly looking for clients and had like over 10 clients and like that was my life. Now I'm focusing on acting. So literally my life now, well, I mean, I have my podcast. So Mentally a Badass. So if you guys like mental health stuff, Mentally a Badass, go check it out. Anyway,
Okay, what was that?
well, it's part of my 20s. I mean, Mentally a Badass,
That's true.
starting that podcast, that's a
You
huge,
created MAB in your 20s. Yes, you did. And
yeah, yeah.
it's because you realize and you know that mental health is very, very important, especially in today's society. Because back when I was growing up, it was also important, but it was a different stigma. So that's another whole episode.
Yeah, but also we can't forget my YouTube life.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was funny.
I mean, that was funny.
I like when you did the YouTube.
Yeah. And I learned recently that I did YouTube to fill the void of me always wanting to be an actor. Yeah, so I can't forget that part. That was a huge part of my 20s.
Definitely.
That was like, I think I started my YouTube channel in 2016, like January of 2016, like the first month. So 2016.
10 years.
No, I don't do YouTube anymore.
But you started it. I'm
I
saying it
started
was
in
10 years ago.
Yeah. So, but I stopped uploading videos consistently in 2022. So pretty much after 2022, like I kind of said goodbye to YouTube and Disney and did the social media business and did a lot of traveling those 2 years. Um and you know what it is? I think the social media business kind of took up a lot of my time,
Mm.
and it's hard to like run your YouTube channel like to that level while also managing other people's accounts. There's only so much creative energy I have. But it was okay to step away because I at that time I already had my podcast. I started my podcast in 2021,
Mm.
Mentally a Badass. So I think like it's kind of hard to run a YouTube channel and run a podcast. It's kind of like one or the other. Even though right now I just started another podcast.
We're doing this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so and then from 2022 to 2025, really more deep into the social media stuff. And then now I'm like 2025, early 2025, I was like, "Oh, let me just jump into acting. Why not, right?" Like,
Why not?
yeah,
If you
but
can do it, go for it. That's what I said. You asked me how I felt about it, and I said, Justine, if this is what you want to do, and you have your, you're lucky enough to be able to do it, and just take them bulls by the horn and just, go head first and just go. Because, like I was just saying earlier, too, like looking forward going to the cruise, I have high expectations, but then sometimes I think to myself, you wouldn't have thought that you would have got accepted into Disney and look how your whole life changed, right? So I'm trying to live my life now, not expecting, just go. Because if you do, you're only hurting yourself with unexpected wants and needs of it. And then you're so disappointed. So now I try to keep my mind frame as just go in. What's going to be is going to be, and have the strength to be able to accept it. If it's a great thing, oh, of course, we all have good strength. If it's something that you're not going to have a good time with, well, there's always going to be another day that there will be. So don't go in with expectations. Like I try to do that now too. Like, oh, I'm so excited to do this. And like, no, yeah, you are, but keep it humble because it's the least things that when things happen, it's when you least expect it.
no, for real. That's why every time like, cause obviously these last couple of weeks, this month or whatever, I've been doing a lot of auditions. So they always say like I listen to a lot of like podcasts and watch things of other actors who are like in my like journey and such. And there's a big advice saying audition and forget.
That's true. Don't
Like it's
dwell
like you
on
have
it.
to it's a mindset thing. It's like you gotta audition and forget. And so which is actually bringing up because right before we click play here, we're watching Ginny and Georgia together
Yeah.
and how I told you that I feel like I can play a character like Maxine.
Yeah, I said that again. You definitely can doing that.
Yeah. I also just love the actor. Like, she's actually like that in real life.
Mm.
Like, it's really funny. I watch her TikToks and just talk whatever she's on, like, outside of acting, she's like the same person. It's really funny. And so, anyway, I don't know where I saw what YouTube channel, maybe it was like an interview, like, you know how they, when a season comes out, they have like their whole PR tour and everything like that. So I think that she was on an interview and then she mentioned the whole like audition and forget thing. And then but she did say that she was like, "I usually every time I audition, they always just because I think they asked her about the audition process for Ginny and Georgia, and she said that her dad told her she had to audition for it because it was in Canada. So he's like, "Oh, you have to audition for this. It's like in Canada." Like her dad was like kept telling her to audition for it. So she was like, yeah, she was talking about the whole audition and forget kind of mindset. But then she said, well, this one I actually didn't audition and forget because I feel like I really wanted this one. Obviously, we know she got it, but I don't know, it's interesting. But I mean, you kind of have to audition and forget because let's think, how many times did I audition for this week? I just did an audition today
I know.
for a commercial. I'm gonna forget about that, even though I'm thinking about it right now. It's so hard to like. I feel like I audition and forget, where I like lose track of all my auditions.
So that's a good thing then,
But
because if you
also, I
have so
kind of want to
many,
keep track, as in like in a document, to like see. The reason I say this because there's this I told you about the girl that I invested that mentorship, Natalie. She said that it took her 300 auditions for till her first booking. So I wanted to like kind of count mine to see, cause I'm curious.
no.
No, I'm curious.
Do you think you're putting pressure on yourself then too, thinking, oh, that's good because that means I have so many that I can still do and I'm going to be okay. But then if I get to that 300 and I'm not 301 and it's still not happening, oh boy, no. I just said, just do.
That's true.
Just do because you're going to only hurt yourself. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, maybe because I'm older now. I guess wisdom does come with age because I find that I'm just, I don't worry about the little things anymore. But then again, my life is so easy compared to like you guys, like even your sister, she has a family now and it's hard. It's a lot of work. And I remember growing up with your kids, I had to do all that too. So I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, so, yeah, what do they call that? When you can, what's the word I'm looking for? Not when you're in a yoga, like you just like I'm lucky enough that I'm at this age where I can be that way. I know it's hard for you in this generation. It's worse actually. But try to at least get the mind frame of don't go into anything with expectations. Because it'll happen, it'll be the greatest thing. And if it doesn't happen, you're not as upset about it. So no comparing to anything. I know it's easily said, but it's hard. Just try. That's all I can say is try to do it. Try to change your mind frame. But don't do that. Just learn as you go and hope for the best. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Another thing too is like what Jim said, my acting teacher, is when you audition, don't expect to get the job. Like, don't go in there with expectations of going in, getting the role, but being seen. He's like, auditions is not, I mean, it's getting the role, yes, but it's like, it's mostly of being seen. And that makes sense because, for example, I just auditioned for a vertical yesterday from in LA, and I told you it was like the same casting director. So when I saw the same casting director, I was like, okay, clearly, like, he doesn't think I'm horrible that he gave me. But it was interesting because he gave me an audition that were like two different character types. Like the first audition, I acted like a poor girl, and then the second one, I acted like a rich bitch.
So what I'm looking for. Your own acting teacher like knows what you're good at and tries to implement that into you that you can grow with that because he sees where you can do your best. So, I would check him up on that. And, I feel like you should just go. It comes naturally. I know you have to play parts, but I would feel certain parts are going to feel better for you. And those parts, let your trueness come out. That's all
Your
I.
trueness? Is that even a word?
Probably not. I'm on my first class here, on the second class. I don't know. But no, honestly, I mean, I feel that you have the talent. You just need to use it honestly, or I can't explain it. Like, you have to be an actress. You have to act a certain way. That's, it's a performance, but you really want to do this and you want to create something from it, then use your trueness. I'm sorry, that's the word I'm using. The true you as part of the makeup. That's how I see it. And I think you can do that if you're just, you have to just be patient,
Yeah.
and not always think like they said, I love that. I love that advice. Audition and forget it. I love it.
Yeah.
Who
No,
told you that? The girl, the one that
it's multiple people.
Okay.
It's like a universal advice.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember who the first person I heard it from, but I've heard it multiple times from different people.
I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
So yeah, you audition and forget it. And especially if you're if you're doing a lot of self-tape and auditions and it's going to be easier to audition and forget it. So that's what I would do.
Instead of like, I'm trying to think. Because once I try to think like, okay, what did I do this week? Oh, I feel like I can only remember what I auditioned for the last like 48 hours. Everything else I'm just like, hey, if I get it, I'll check my email and it'll say either call back or, I mean, I believe after I submit for commercials, if I were to get anything past that, I think my agent directly calls me. I think I never got a call back yet, but I think that's how it rolls, is that my agent would call me. I definitely know 100% she would, just because it would be like the first time. Like I remember when I started signing with her and I got my first audition, she did call me when I got my first audition. And then now she doesn't talk to me,
Right.
but there's no reason because like she doesn't have to talk to me. I just get the notifications on my phone. Hey, you want requesting self tape? But yeah, no, I think if I get a call back, she'll call me directly. And I'm not gonna lie, like because there's people like on your contact list that you put. Actually, I don't know if it's just her, but I put that she can bypass do not disturb
Okay.
because if something like that happens, I get a call back or I get booked or whatever.
But isn't that the do not disturb on your phone? You set up to you have to call someone
Yes, yeah. So if she were to call me like 2 times, yeah, sure. But that's set up for like emergencies.
like me.
Right. But like with her, I don't want to send my agent to voicemail.
No, of course not. So you have her that you can bypass the two emergency call.
Yeah, she can bypass the do not disturb restriction on my phone. So if she calls me like and I'm on do not disturb, I will still hear my phone go
Yeah,
off.
but when I've texted you and I've seen you have do not disturb, it says you can text it and anyway or something it says on the texting part. I think the text go through even though you have
No, yeah, you'll still be on the phone. It just won't be a pop-up notification. Like I would have to open my phone and manually go to my text messages and I'll see it. Like basically it's turning off the notifications, like the push notifications, like how it pops up and you get dings. So like if you text me and I'm on do not disturb, I'm not going to hear my phone go off. But if I open it up and I'm seeing it says one message, then yeah. So the point of it is like it's not that I'm not going to get your messages, it's just that it's my phone's not going to like ding.
right.
Yeah. So that's the point of do not disturb. But there's a way that you can put notify anyway. You could do it like one time.
That's it. That's what I've
Yeah, you
seen.
can click notify anyway and it like bypass that. I sometimes abuse it.
No, I've seen that. That's what I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
But we're getting off base here. So anyway, we were talking about the 20s for you and the 20s for me. And the difference, you've heard both stories.
Two completely different lives.
Different lives. And then in the future, 20 years from now, it would be funny to find out what a new person in what, 20,
As
40
Ariana.
something will be experiencing.
Ariana's gonna be experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Can't believe she's gonna be 12.
I know.
How?
Scary.
How is that possible?
Well, how's it possible that you're 30? How's it possible that I'm beep, beep?
Mom.
I think you can calculate it.
You know what I wonder? You know how yesterday we saw Tata?
We saw what?
Tata.
Oh, I thought you said Papa.
No, Tata. She was born in 39, right?
Yes, she's 80.
Imagine how different life was then.
She was in Cuba then, too.
Oh, she was? Such a different life, and now?
Yeah, that's a family friend that we're speaking of, and she is the sweetest, sweetest woman. She makes everybody she comes in contact with like you're the only one that she sees, which I love. And she's very genuine.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I think we
what else
covered the 20s.
How much time to stay on there? What are we gonna talk about next week?
Next week, we can talk about how about what I found in my 30s. No, it's kind of
No,
like
because
the
I've just
same
started my
thing.
30s.
All right, why don't we do next time?
I'm looking at ChatGPT, how our relationship has changed over time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
I said that today, this morning. I said that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So
Oh, sorry, you can go.
Okay. So next week, I think we'd like to discuss how our lives have changed according to each other.
Our relationship as mother-daughter.
As our relationship as mother-daughter, how it's evolved.
Mm.
And we'll see how that works.
Yeah.
If you're interested, please tune in. Is that such a word I can use? Or is that an old person's way of saying tune in?
And Mom, so don't you think that if people stayed here this long, that they like us?
Yes, I say that. I always
Yeah.
say that on the end of every one. If you're still with us, we appreciate you.
Yes. And you guys should rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and follow us on TikTok and Instagram.
Click to that. Hey, you're empty.
I like
Goodness.
wine.
To the next one. Bye, guys.